Told y'all they was gonna snake him. I told y'all they had a play coming for them boys, man. Listen, didn't I tell y'all, go look at listen to my other video. Listen to my other videos. What I tell y'all? I said they coming back around to get them boys, man. People gonna get federal indictments, man. And then they're gonna start talking about the death penalty. See, all this shit comes with these YouTubers. I told you, it covered these people putting up this shit about these boys, man. It covered all this shit they putting up about these boys, man. Got them cooked, man. Just took it. Now, listen, just got O Block out the way. Just got him out the way. Just got him out the way. Hold on, let me pull this article up. Let me get off this thing right here. Let me pull this article up. I don't want to pull it up on this one. I want to pull it up on, where's my, oh, okay. Look, hold on. Let me get to this right quick. I told y'all. They just booked them boys. I told y'all. I told you. I told you. So whoever, a dude put that shit in my video, a dude put that shit in my motherfucking, in my chat yesterday. I mean, they hooked it in my video yesterday. Dude probably on the head, probably like 100-some views on it or some shit. And I told you, he was saying like they went in there about the FBG Duck murder. That's why I was like, how the fuck they gonna go in there about the FBG Duck murder when they ain't even like flashing nobody on the news, say who up there. Listen, y'all, they just set them boys up, man. That's a whole play on WAP, them, boy. That's a whole play. I told y'all they was gonna get them out the way. Either or, they're gonna get them out the fucking way. Listen here, let me see this. Listen, they finna screw them up too, because they got Fed cases. I don't want to see it on YouTube. I want to see the news thing. All right, here it go. I'm going to read it off the Sun-Times right quick. Look, I told y'all, when I tell y'all exactly what they was going to do? Didn't I tell y'all what they was going to do when they get whopped? Rapper King Von's killing put spotlight on Chicago gangs tied to Atlanta. Didn't I tell y'all? I said they just going to keep saying King Von. King Von's people, rapper, King Von's entourage, King Von's guys, King Von. See, that's what's going to trend the story. The 26-year-old man had been affiliated with O Block, a fraction of Chicago's Black Disciple Street gang. Police say Chicago gangs have been active in Atlanta for years. See, DURK put them in the paint. DURK put him in the paint. Rapper King Von's killing has put a spotlight on what authorities say is the continued involvement of Chicago street gang violence in Atlanta. Rapper King Von has put a spotlight on what authorities say is there you go. King Von, 26, and Mark Blakely, 34, both of Chicago were fatally shot, and 4 men were wounded after brawl November 6th. Now you know it's a straight up lie because we see all the bullshit how they set Von up, and look at the Sun-Times putting in there. You don't think the Sun-Times know that shit is a lie? Look at the Sun-Times. Look what the Sun-Times putting there. King Von and Mark Blakely, 34, were fatally shot. Man, that whole shit at the hookah lounge was a lie. That whole shit at the hookah lounge was a lie. Them police know that shit. Them police know that shit. Look, and then they got it all. Look, they got all this shit up in here. Look, King Von, 26, and Mark Blakely, 34, both from Chicago, were fatally shot, and 4 men were wounded after a brawl November 6th in the parking lot outside the Atlanta Lounge. They belong to a fraction of the Black Disciples, O Blocks, police say. The week before he was killed, King Von released his debut album, Welcome to O Block, returning to the Black Disciple stronghold in Parkway Gardens apartment on Chicago's South Side. Blakely, a felon with a gun and theft convictions in Cook County, had the word O Block tattooed on his neck. Last year, King Von and Chicago rapper Lil Durk were charged with shooting a man outside Atlanta Popular Varsity hot dog stand and stealing $30,000 in jewelry and a vehicle. Before he turned himself in, police, Lil Durk, 28, told the TV reporter in Atlanta he was innocent and no longer involved in gangs. Why you think they even bringing this shit up? Why you think they bringing this up? Why you think they bringing all this shit up? Why you think they bringing all this shit up? See, hold on right quick. Hold on right quick, y'all. Hold on. Hello? Yeah, y'all, look. Let me cut this phone down. Now check this out. Why you think they bringing all this shit up in there? None of this has nothing to do with Duck's murder. None of this has nothing to do with Duck's murder. See, they're trying to clean it up, boy. Applying too much pressure. Applying too much pressure. Applying too much pressure. Why is they bringing all this DURK? Why do DURK and Von case? Why is they bringing all this shit up? All this promotional DURK and Von shit. Why is they bringing all that up in there? Could anybody tell me that? Hold on, right quick. At a bail hearing in Atlanta, police look. Don't fail. Look. Why is they bringing all this shit up? See, they're promoting it. See, they're trying to clean the Von and DURK thing up because they know it was Von and DURK. Lori Lightfoot, all of them. See how they just put whopping them in the box? I'm going to tell you 100% facts how they put whopping them in the box. All the evidence on the DURK thing doesn't even add up to, it don't add up to what they said. All these 4 shooters and all this shit, gun and duck down and all that. It don't add up. But guess what? We're going to see what the feds and all them going to do about all that. We're going to see what the feds and all those people was going to say about all that other stuff like that people put up, like the old block bodies and this and that and this and that. No. Before the DURK thing, y'all, guess what? How many bodies and shit that they have talked about those boys from old block? How many bodies have they talked about before DURK? Tell me that. Tell me that. Hold on. How many bodies have YouTubers talked about before this DURK shit about old block? Man, they just sat whopping them up. I told y'all they was finna get whopped. I told y'all, listen, for them to get whopped, guess what it do? It brings all the friction back to this, to the Von case. And then it sort of try to act like it's debunking what we're saying. No, we know for 1,000,000,000% fact that the Von case is fool. So if they're mixing the Von case with the DURK case, don't you tell you that they're setting Moo whopping them up? Don't that show you? Now they got Moo whopping them in the feds. Now he done. Took all the juice back from Von. Took all the juice back from them boys from old block. I told y'all what it was. I told y'all they was finna get them. And listen, you can go listen to my videos right now. I swear to God, I don't know which videos it's on, but I swear to God on my kids, it got to be on one of like the TB videos or the STL videos, one of them I got. Y'all remember I kept telling y'all, I've been saying that for a minute. I said all this shit that these YouTubers talking about on YouTube, about all these bodies and this and that, it's all going to come back and hunt them. And people going to come back and get them. Then they're going to put them in the feds. And then when they get them in the feds, they talking death penalty. They talking death penalty. Man, listen here, man. If you think whopping 5 of them boys did that to DURK, you out your mind, man. You out your mind. It don't add up. See, they're just promoting this. They're promoting this. Look, this whole article is about Von. They promoting this. Let's finish reading it. Rapper King Von killing put a spotlight on what authorities is. I read that one already. Hold on, this or that. Oh, now they go right to this. At bail hearing, an Atlanta police officer testified that the surveillance camera caught Lil Durk firing a gun towards the victim, and the Chicago detective traveled to Atlanta and testified that both rappers were active members of the Black Disciples. I proved that detective that came to Chicago, that's the same detective that stopped Von at the airport a week before he died. That same detective that's sitting on the stand on Von now. See, all this shit is fucking them up. And then look, this is all they do. It brings spotlight to all this. Look, boom. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Look. What the fuck do they have Marvell in here for? The Black Disciples are suspected of trafficking guns and marijuana in Atlanta, according to law enforcement source. Members of the gang have done business in Atlanta for years, according to the court records. A lot of people do business in Atlanta. Marvell Thompson, the reputed king of the gang in Chicago. Marvell ain't the king no more. Marvell, the reputed kingpin of the gang in Chicago, laundered millions of dollars and drugs through a car wash and a nightclub he owned in Atlanta, according to federal prosecutors. Thompson, who lived in Inglewood, is in prison after being convicted of drug conspiracy. Now they got Marvell out. What they got Veil up in here for? Veil ain't the king no more. Veil ain't the king. The Chicago-based gangster disciple rivals of the Black disciples also are active in Atlanta. Authorities say in 2016, dozens of gangster disciples were charged in Atlanta. Federal indictment accused of 10 murders along with drug trafficking, robbing, and carjacking and bank fraud. And those GDs that was charged because those GDs that got charged up there in Atlanta, that's because they threatened Ross. That's because they threatened Ross. Gator, that was Gator and them work. They got them boys in Atlanta because they was plugged with Gator. That was Gator work. That was Gator standing right there when they threatened Ross for that chain. Then they came back and got all them boys, man. They came back and got all them boys. The people put them in the paint. Look, King Von grew up on the east side and the Dan Ryan Expressway and Parkway Gardens. A 2014 Sun-Times story reported that the 6400 block of South Martin Luther King Drive, where Parkway Gardens is located, is called O Block after a 2011 killing of a Black disciple member, Odie Perry. The area had the most shooting in Chicago between 2011 and 2014. That's when they kicked the lie off and told all y'all that Michelle Obama was from Parkway. And then they put the big ass post up in the Sun-Times and said that Michelle Obama is from Parkway, and it said it was the most dangerous spot in the country. And the dude that owned the Sun-Times, his grandson was a part of the Freezer case. That's how the Freezer case got in the Sun-Times. Oh, listen, why they talking about all this shit but not DURK? Listen, in 2017, King Von was found not guilty of murder after he and Michael Wade were accused of opening firing on a home in Inglewood. Yep, because DURK and them got him out. In Inglewood during a birthday party in 2014 and fatally shot a man in the head. Wade was sentenced to 28 years in prison for aggravated battery. King Von had 2 felony convictions in Cook County. In 2013, he was sentenced to 3 years in prison for possession of a gun by a felon. In 2012, he was sentenced to boot camp over a theft charge after an armed robbery charge was dropped, court records show. In 2009, an interview on No Jumper podcast. Listen, No Jumper! Look at this. Why is the Sun-Times mentioning a YouTuber? Didn't I tell y'all? Come on, man. Why is the Sun-Times mentioning a fucking YouTuber? Didn't I tell these YouTubers